Let us go to H3H3 and Ela Klein talking about the tariffs. Babe, you heard about the tariffs that are happening in the States. Donald Trump is implementing a whole bunch of tariffs. He's removed most of them now for the rest of the world, but he has maintained the China tariffs, and they're now up to like 150%. So whatever you buy from China, from the United States, whatever you order in, you have to pay a 150% tariff on top of that. So prices are going to like quadruple. I don't even know what that means on the ground, like price-wise, but like things are going to explode. And for Teddy Fresh, the brand that you are currently handling and altering, they produce most of their clothes in China. Got a $5 super chat by Bennu in Space. Who cares why people are anti-genocide? It's still the correct position. He pretends his assertion and validates it. It does not. Connie Kitty asks, who is the co-host? If you're asking who's the co-host today, that is my girlfriend, Demi. Well, she's, I would say co-host. She's like, she's a guest, our guest contributor today. I would love for her to be a co-host one day. Too much stress. So what I'm going to say, though, in defense, a lot of people, when they say something is made in China, they say it as like an insult or like the assumption that it's like bad.
The biggest industry that's making everything.
We'll be fair. There's a lot of cheap, shitty, and extra affordable stuff that is made in China, but there's also a lot of excellent stuff that is made in China. Most of the things that you use on a daily basis are made in China. Your iPhones, considered some of the best, most durable phones on the market. These are made in China. Chinese craftsmen are very talented. They're very diligent. They take their time. They're very proud in their work. Some stuff is crap, but every country makes shitty stuff. There's good stuff and there's bad stuff.
No, but it's not because it's made in China, it's crap. It's because the business that is outsourcing this product in China is trying to be cheap. So they've made the cheap product. It's not Chinese people. Like, it has nothing to do with the actual industry.
And they're working with a factory that maybe uses less than great practices, or they don't get the best materials. You'll find in China, you'll find all sorts of factories, people that work with them.
That goes back to the business owner, though, always.
It depends who you want to choose to work with. If the factory in China uses great materials, you're going to get a great product in return. And I know I've criticized Ela and Ethan and Teddy Fresh and some of their, but like I was a big fan of Teddy Fresh, and I will give them that. The quality of most Teddy Fresh clothing is very fucking good. Like, look at this hoodie right here. They're color block hoodies. They're thick. They're very long lasting. They're very comfortable. Teddy Fresh, for the most part, has made very high quality clothing. Whether it's, and I'm not going to use the fact that it was made in China as like a knock. I like China. I'm a big fan of China.
It's 100% polyester. You haven't washed this enough to know that it's.
Yeah, I've never washed this thing. I've worn this thing like twice.
It's 100% polyester. Yeah, that is not great quality of clothing.
Let me check this hoodie.
For like $100, like that's a ripoff, honestly. And like they were probably making these for like $5 or $10 in China, and selling them like it was never an ethical business, I think.
Let me check the hoodie, what that is made of. Well, the hoodie is 100% cotton. I was talking about the hoodie in my hand. So the hoodies are very good quality. They're very durable. They're very thick. Like, I never had any complaints with their clothes. I love a lot of their T-shirts. Some of their jackets would feel a little bit more flimsy, but for the most part, I think Teddy Fresh clothing is good quality. So when people try to say like, oh, it's just crap made in China, I don't think it's crap. You know what I mean? Some of their more recent hoodies felt like the material was a little bit thinner. It was never as thick as the original color blocks, but I think some of their clothes are pretty dope. Sometimes I got like a shitty zipper, every now and then like a flimsy zipper or something, but for the most part, the fact that their stuff is made in China, not a problem. So now with the tariffs, Ela and Ethan are questioning whether or not Teddy Fresh can even survive, and not just their businesses. They're talking about like a lot of other businesses. So let's kind of hear what they had to say and see whether or not Teddy Fresh will be around a year from now. And then I'll know what to do with some of these items, maybe collector's items, baby.
Crack at it. Ela's giving me her used food.
This is how you get IBS, bro.
Yeah, this is my
told you.
Thank you. This is the $20 breakfast burrito. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Does this work? Did you see? Oh, wait, you have the wig on. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
That's pretty chill.
We have a week of Wig Dan.
Hopeless Leftist says Teddy Fresh is a ripoff. Sorry, Anthony, you don't want to admit it. No, it definitely is a ripoff. It's definitely overpriced. Like, I've overpaid for things like this hoodie. I think was like $80 or something. There's no reason a hoodie should be $80. Like, unless it's like really,
unless it's original art or there's something. But this is like obviously like one panel that they reprinted.
I mean, look, to me it's nice, but like, yeah, I mean, for example, to me a price for a hoodie should be like $50 or something. To me, that's a fair price that you'd pay for a nice, good quality hoodie that you can keep for a few years. Teddy Fresh, we're definitely aiming to be a higher end type of streetwear, not like supreme level where they charge like hundreds for certain things, but they want it to be higher end than like Vans, but like less than other things. So I understand the pricing. Definitely overpriced. Definitely. They routinely charge over $100 for like jackets and like sweatshirts and stuff. Certainly overpriced. I was just a fan, guys. Again, don't forget, I was a massive fallen fan of H3H3. I host a fucking show inspired by H3H3. So of course I bought a lot of Teddy Fresh. I convinced myself that some of the stuff was nicer than it was. Also, it influenced my fashion style for like a couple of years, to be honest with you guys. Like a lot of the things that I would buy other than Teddy Fresh were like also pastel colored. I'm trying to get out of it now. I'm also growing out of it. I don't really wear that stuff anymore. But yeah, I was a fan of Teddy Fresh and I bought it a lot, mainly to support Ethan and Hila. Like I was fucking sold, guys. This is why this is all shocking to me. This is why me becoming a fallen fan was such a big thing. This is why I'm talking about H3 as much as I am, because I was on such an extreme end of like being a fan and like trying to justify everything that they did, to now having my eyes open to the truth. So let's get back to listening to Hila and Ethan talk about how it's affecting their business, the tariffs.
Is it crazy to put the
message
bean on
about
over
the
the way?
tariffs?
Yeah.
China?
I was gonna say something. You want to say it?
We're just absolutely fucked. Like, it's what people were saying on Friday, they were right. So
Ethan's Basement says, what's up, tuning in from the restaurant? Well, Sahtain, Ethan's Basement, bon appetit. Hope you're having something tasty, my friend. We say hello. Someone says Teddy Fresh socks were like $30. Yeah, that's insane. Ethan's saying. Choki says, you're a good guy, Anthony. Well, thank you, Choki. I don't know what I did to earn that title, but I'll take it. I'm a good guy. Right, Demi?
Yeah, babe.
I'm a good guy? Thank you.
What were you saying on Friday?
where they were saying it's not 125.
Well, we
So
know it's
it's-
145.
Well, so our team was under the impression it was 125 when we met on Thursday to go over everything. So everything that we went over is inaccurate.
So what are we
And
at?
So now have to reconfigure everything. We're at a really bad
What's
place.
the tariff?
It's 152.5
152.
because it's 125 plus the 20 plus 7.5.
152% tariff. Where before it was how much?
W's in the chat for Ethan's Basement, folks. W's in the chat. Tell him bon appetit. Hopefully he's enjoying his lunch. Take good care of yourself, Ethan's Basement. We love you.
It was between 20 to like 30 something. Yeah.
Dude, this country, there's people in
The
this
problem is
country-
that nobody gave us any time. Like, give people like 6 months. Say this is gonna happen. You may want to start figuring your shit out.
No,
There's,
devastating.
There's stuff
So many
already in
small-
boats coming here. There's stuff already made over there, and like we work a year in advance. So we're gonna have to cancel what we can.
I think there's going to be like hundreds of thousands of small businesses that are going to go
Yeah,
bankrupt.
they're gonna go under. Yeah.
Because, like, it's one thing to have to.
I mean, look, I agree with them. Again, I don't want to agree with Ethan and Hila, but like, you can't just raise tariffs to 152% overnight and then expect thousands of businesses to just like adapt. What are people supposed to change their entire manufacturing like overnight, their whole line of production, the whole logistics? Like, you can't do that. So it is kind of insane that someone has to deal with that like overnight. Like, I get my comics like from the States. Imagine overnight by ordering my comics from the States is going to cost me 20 times as much. You got to give me a couple of months to find an alternative, you know, someone else that I can work with, another country, something. So they're throwing all these businesses under the bus, which is kind of crazy. But it also goes to show, I mean, it's ironic because Ethan and Hila were making fun of Hassan a few weeks ago for producing his clothes in the USA, and they were saying
Yeah,
like
but-
how they don't believe that he makes his clothes in the US, and like how can he sell his shirts for as cheap as he does if they're made in the US? All of his shirts are union made in the US. You guys should have done
They're
the
just
same.
money hungry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Instead of your profit margin being like 70 to 60%, you can have a decent profit margin of 30 to 40, which is the more ethical route. And like, you're supposed to also encourage the people in your country or like whatever nationalist type of production.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to produce things outside.
I mean, if Teddy Fresh were making their clothes in the U.S., just like Hassan Piker's merch, you guys would not be having any problems right now. You wouldn't have any interruptions in your supply chain. You would be able to keep, you know, because like Hila said, they prepare their stuff a year in advance. So they already have a whole year's worth of a catalog ready to go in China. So they have to change their whole year.
Yeah, but
They're
they
like-
probably are doing it for so cheap. Like, you have no idea how cheap it is to produce in China. It's still cheaper for you to produce in a whole other country and get it shipped than to actually do it in the US.
Oh yeah, well, not now with the tariffs, they're fucked. They're trying to cancel stuff. They're gonna have to charge more for whatever they're getting. But like, just the fact that they were shitting on Hassan for producing things in the U.S. and now this is happening to them, kind of makes it hard for you to feel bad for them. But I do agree that you can't do that to a business overnight. Like, hey, we're changing your whole supply chain. Fucking figure it out. Like, people are gonna lose jobs if Teddy Fresh closes down, how many people do they hire? Like, that's fucked. That's a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs.
Change where your manufacturing is.
Well, it
It's
takes
another thing to
a
have
really
to do
long
it
time.
overnight.
It's
When you're already
impossible.
committed to having a ton of product in China that you have to now pay
Yeah.
150% tariff on to get.
And it makes no financial sense. People are not gonna pay that much. If I had to raise the price to make it financially make sense, people are not gonna pay that much.
It's too much.
It's too much. So
It's called sports.
Just charge that shit back.
Did we pay for it already?
we have stuff that are already paid for, and also it's seasonal. Like the next collection has swimsuits in it, and that stuff's already on the way. So that stuff we will have to release and raise the prices on. We have no option.
Like, how much do you raise the prices on swimsuits? Like, if the tariffs are 150, how much? If a swimsuit used to cost like $50, how much does it cost with all like that?
Definitely doesn't cost $50. Like they could
No, no.
just
I'm just throwing an example. Like, if the number is $50, adding a 150% tariff on that, what does that mean? Does it triple in price, quadruple in price?
Yeah, triple, I guess. So it would be $200 total.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
but nothing costs.
we're
that
we're
much.
actually
Yeah.
we're wondering if we can even run the business.
I don't know, because
Yeah.
Well, straight up.
like I was saying before, apparel was already having a hard time before Trump came into office. So
Yeah.
this is the last thing we needed.
Yeah, the whole- I think
and
it's
that's
a
not just me;
crazy-
it's the industry in general. Everybody in apparel was having a hard time last year.
Okay, so Ela is basically admitting that Teddy Fresh was having sales issues last year
I was gonna
already.
say, is their business
She's-
doing good outside of the tariffs, like before that?
I mean, at least when Teddy Fresh first launched, it was popping. It was doing well, at the very least within their audience. Everyone in their audience was watching and buying. All of the hardcore fans were buying Teddy Fresh and repping the brand. I don't know how well Teddy Fresh did outside of H3 fans. I know there was some crossover. Like, I've seen some influencers rocking Teddy Fresh from time to time in some like music videos or in some TikToks. Mainly, it was always like the signature hoodie that would make the rounds. Recently, I don't know. I kept buying clothes for like up to 2 years ago. After they turned into like full Zionists, I stopped supporting them. And I guess a lot of other H3 fans stopped supporting them as well. This is probably some of the downturn that Ela is talking about, that they had a dip in sales last year. Now, she's saying all apparel companies had that dip in sales. Again, I don't know if that's true or not, but I would not be surprised if, because I've spent literally thousands of dollars on Teddy Fresh. I have stopped supporting Teddy Fresh financially. I've stopped supporting H3 financially. So if I'm just one of thousands of customers who have stopped spending hundreds to thousands of dollars on their clothes, of course it's going to affect their bottom line. Of course it is. So it's just news to me to hear her actually say that, like, yo, we were already struggling last year, and now with the tariffs, we don't even know if we can keep the business operational, which is crazy. Like, to me, Teddy Fresh was like it was such an interesting and fun new addition to the world of fashion. Like, it seemed like such a popular brand at the time, and now that it might just go away in like a couple of months is kind of insane.
And was hoping that maybe this year things will turn around, but nobody expected
that?
this.
How about that for a
this year.
turnaround?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's utterly insane what's happening.
North Star Radio in the chat. W's, our friend Comrade Casey, folks. W's in the chat for Comrade Casey. He says, R.I.P. Bozo. By the way, Comrade Casey is dropping a very interesting video tomorrow, I believe on the 16th, or actually maybe today. Comrade Casey, please clarify in the chat, where he's going to be like sort of a lawyer for Noah Sampson, and he's going to go through the case and give like a theoretical. He's going to make the theoretical case for Noah Sampson as to why he is not defaming Ethan Klein. Very excited to watch that, and I'm hoping to actually be able to react to it live. Hopefully I can do that tomorrow or something. Let's continue watching Ethan Klein.
And actually, I was watching a piece.
Did you listen to the daily
yeah, I
today?
did.
Ooh, in the next couple of hours, folks, so stay tuned to that. I'll try. I'm going to see if I can do some kind of reaction to that tomorrow, North Star Radio. That'll be fucking dope.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just about a small business owner who was killing it, had this prospering business that she spent like all this time building, and it was finally popping off. And now she's fucked.
She's fucked, and she's afraid she's gonna lose her home because she took she got all these POs with like Walmart and Target, and those are really big, so you need to commit to like really big quantities, and you kind of need to take a leap of faith. And I think she took a loan that like you put your house against it.
It's a reverse mortgage. It's not a loan.
It's I don't know what the term is, but
A reverse mortgage loan isn't something.
knowing everything she knew leading up to this, it made sense to do it. Nobody knew
Yeah,
this
no,
would happen overnight. So now she's royally fucked.
I mean, if they're already committed to you legally, it's really
How you pay it back.
Yeah.
It's not doesn't seem that risky.
Yeah, and sometimes as a business owner, you have to take risks.
Yeah.
This isn't my first rodeo.
So there's that happening. So I think we're going to see thousands.
And she was asked, so what about like the actual goal of this? Do you see yourself being able to do this here? And she went over that scenario, and it was literally impossible in so many ways. It was just not even close to anything possible to do it here.
Why?
Well, she went over all the different scenarios. Like, for one, you need to find the manufacturing, like the machines. The machines she needs to buy from China. So would she pay 150?
So, bro, that's crazy. Like, what the fuck was Donald Trump thinking? Like, some people can't even, like some lady had like a business, and like she can't even, she was doing great. Now with the new tariffs, she's fucked overnight. And like they're asking her, like, can't you?
Really? Like, it depends
But the
what
machine-
the machine is.
But if it's a
or
specific machine that does like this some specific thing, and she can only get it from China, and now it's gonna
the
cost.
entire U.S., there isn't that machine.
Accord-
I doubt. It
acco-
just costs more, and then you have to
according to
price
her-
according to your economic
But that's the thing.
situation, which is what makes more sense.
Best the
yani,
U.S. has really like they made themselves so dependent on China. They kind of fucked themselves too. Like they have been more than happy over the past few, I don't know how many years, to just destroy their manufacturing in order to take advantage of cheaper Chinese manufacturing. And now, like they're paying the price because they're noticing they have no infrastructure. Like they have no
Yeah.
infrastructure to do any of this shit. So. They should. I mean, the one good thing about this is that it's going to force them to take more responsibility for their manufacturing, but it's just going to take time. Like if this was a progressive like increase of tariffs, you know what I mean? Like it's going to increase a little bit every month for the next 12 months. Then by the end of like this period, it's going to reach that level, which hopefully by that point you would have all built whatever factories you needed. You would have all built the machines that you needed. You would have all found alternates. The fact that it's all happening overnight. I mean, it's kind of funny that it's affecting Teddy Fresh, but like. Everyone else that's being affected, it's not that funny, I would say. And like, what's Ethan gonna do for money, bro? He's spending all that money on lawsuits. The channel isn't doing as well. Teddy Fresh isn't doing as well. He's buying all these fucking watches. What's happened? How's Ethan and how are Elon and Elon making money, bro?
50% of the machine. Then it takes like 6 to 7 months to set up the molds. You need to find somebody that specializes in that and can set up her facility. Like those people are not even here. There's nobody here that specializes in that stuff. And then like materials you need to bring on its own, and that she needs to pay. Like the materials are not here. Everything, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Especially again when there's no incentive for people to invest.
She went through the cost. It would cost her.
Ghost ATW says, yeah, we outsourced all of our machining operations. A lot of that used to be in Milwaukee and Detroit, but they shipped the jobs away.
Yeah, you see, so they actually took away jobs from Americans.
The Chinese?
Not the Chinese.
Americans,
the
yeah.
Americans trying to be cheaper for higher
yeah.
profit margins.
Like India is known for like all customer service jobs have been like outsourced to India. Anytime you call a company for like
Yeah, I
customer
know.
customer service, you got someone in India that's picking up the phone because it's much cheaper. Yeah, the U.S. has been outsourcing jobs for years and years and years. And now, I mean, I understand the sentiment of wanting to bring those jobs back, but you got to do it with like a plan. You can't just do it overnight. Like this is just fucking up the economy. This is going to cause hyperinflation because most of the goods that are sold in the States are made in China. So like prices are going to go up on everything, bro.
The market is very diluted with a free market, or maybe it's gonna push some people that are not meant to be business owners out of the market, out of the industry, and no.
But it's also going to push people that are meant to be business owners also out of the industry, which is just not right. Like this isn't the way to
I
do
don't
it.
think you're meant to be a business owner if you're willing to sacrifice like on someone else's like back. Like that makes no sense. I would always rather benefit a Lebanese person, or rather than be like, okay, I can make this for $2 in China and sell it for like $60 here. Whereas, rather than making it in Lebanon for 20 or whatever.
It depends. I mean, there are some items, like if you make an iPhone in the States, I think it would cost like $6,000 or like, I forgot what the price was, like $3,000 or $4,000 for like a phone, which like some things would become prohibitively expensive where people just wouldn't be able to buy them anymore. Now, do we need to buy a phone every year? Of course not. You need to, you like the logical thing is to buy like one smartphone, keep it for 4 to 5 years. But again, should that cost $4,000 to $5,000? Hey, I'm not the guy to talk about that. But it's just interesting what's happening around the world.
More still, even with the fucked up tariffs.
Yeah.
It would still cost her more to do it here.
Yeah. So you're going to see thousands of small businesses going under. It's going to be catastrophic. And then in China, I was watching a report.
Ice Meow Tequilsa. What are these names? Ice Mout Tlakisa. Remember, the tariffs are for the already very low prices they pay in China. So a T-shirt they pay $5 to make will now cost $12.50 now. Not that big of a deal. Oh, if that's the only difference in price from $5 to $12.50, then that's okay.
No, it's 150%, but relative to what the piece costs. So here, technically, yeah, if you were to manufacture something in China that costs $5, it would cost you $15 to manufacture it in the US. I know because I have produced t-shirts for my shop, and I know the prices between ordering off of Alibaba or AliExpress. Like, a lot of people recommended that I do versus manufacturing in Lebanon, and I actually ended up going with manufacturing in Lebanon just because I could feel the material with my hands, and I could know the people behind it and just support my country further. So yeah, that $10 or $15 difference, whatever it is, I mean, if your piece costs $50 to make, that you're already not selling it for 100, you're definitely selling it for like 300 or 400 already. So you're just gonna have to eat a bigger bite of losing off of your market, your profits.
Yeah, but I don't know if anyone's going to mess with their margins. They're just going to raise the prices on consumers and try to maintain their margins keep their margins the way they are. That's what happened in Lebanon. Like, after the inflation, people, instead of helping people, they just kept...
No, everyone. I know tattoo products, a lot of prices changed. A lot of transparency was forced to happen. Like, specifically with like things that were very niche to find, like depending on what the brand was, like needles and ink and stuff like that. Like, when I saw the prices after the economic crisis, I'm like, oh wow, they were really benefiting off of our backs before that.
This just fell out of my chair.
What is the bolt?
Not sure if that's a good sign, folks. A nice little fat bolt. Anyways, the show must go on, folks. Let's keep going right here.
Of journalists over there covering how and it's affecting China even worse. There's like fucking entire cities of factories just empty. Like, the entire industry there is fucking like cratering.
They're gonna crash, really.
Yeah,
I'm sure
China's
they're
gonna
panicking.
I mean, it's going to be bad for everybody.
Because everybody is stopping right now what they can, and that's gonna look really bad over there too. Yeah. Oh, and she talked about how, like, here to do stuff, the minimums. That's what I was talking about too. The minimum order, MOQ is what we call it for short. It's in the thousands or more, 20,000s, you know. And over there, they'll take her for like 1,000. So you're able to do business, and like, she was able to be a really good business person. But she was like, if I have to do it here, I can't be a good business owner. It's not laid out for me to do business here. It's just nearly impossible.
Everything is extremely expensive in the States, like getting a business license. I mean, you would have to get a business license anyways, even if you're manufacturing in China. But I do imagine, like, setting everything up, like opening a restaurant in the States costs 50 times more than opening a restaurant in Lebanon. You have to get all these, like...
Isn't that relative to how much people make over there, like, as in salaries?
It's supposed to be, but inflation has been happening, and wages haven't gone up. Minimum wage hasn't gone up in a very long time. So it's supposed to be relative, but it's not. Rent prices keep going up. People's salaries don't go up. Inflation goes up. So Americans, on paper, people think that Americans have a lot of money. But again, most Americans can't afford a $400 emergencies. 50% of Americans have like $1,000 or less in savings. So not really. Everything has not caught up. People's salaries and people's wages have not caught up with the change and increase in the cost of living in the U.S. Specifically, housing is very expensive. Everything is very expensive. So you would think that's what it's supposed to be, but it's not. People there, a lot of Americans struggle a lot on a daily basis.
Basically.
It's going to harm both countries tremendously. It's going to hurt China even worse.
But it's like, we had a good thing going. I don't know why we're doing this.
It seemed like
for both parties, this...
Anthony Bencivengo sends $20. Thank you so much for supporting the channel on such a high level, Anthony. Late thoughts on purity. As a tenant union organizer, I can tell you, to win, you have to work with people you disagree with, but you can never work with someone who disagrees on rights and safety for oppressed people in the union. I agree with you. Again, like, I'm willing to put some things aside and to compromise, but there are some values I refuse to compromise on. And genocide and supporting Israel, and like when people are like, vote for Kamala, it doesn't matter. I'm like, bro, Kamala and Biden are allowing a genocide to happen under their noses. They're doing nothing to stop it. How can I vote for that? How can I overlook that? But they support abortion. Okay, I support abortion, but like, they're literally fucking genociding my people. So there are certain things that I refuse to overlook. And you know what I mean? But yeah, NY Anthony says, another great Anthony here. I agree, Anthony.
You say Anthony so many times.
Bencivengo. Anthony. Lars sends $5 and says, Teddy Fresh used to be pretty decent, but the quality of the clothing took a huge dip. It feels cheaply made now, and the designs went off the fucking rails. I agree. The last 2 years of designs have been hideous, and
Designs suck.
And I agree that the quality has been going downhill a little bit. Like, when you compare a hoodie that you bought like 4 or 5 years ago to a hoodie that you bought like 2 to 3 years ago, the quality is a little bit different. Now, again, it just depends. I don't want all hoodies to be the same exact material. Some of them are too thick. But for the most part, I would buy only the nicest pieces, like the one that Demi was fixing earlier, the corduroy like color block thing. I fucking love that thing. I think it's very nice quality, etc. Let's get back to that video.
It was working.
Yeah, it seemed like it was working just fine, you know?
And like, if he really cares about long term to invest in America and manufacturing in America, you need to give us like a 5-year plan.
Well, that's
Like,
common
okay,
sense.
we're gonna
Yeah.
give you in 1 year, tariff is gonna go up to this, and then you get incentives for doing something here and this and that. There needs to be like a plan over like 5 years at least, or something.
I think traditionally,
Just
I'm
doing it
sure-
overnight, there's no plan. There's nothing. There's no.
I agree with Ela. I mean, you know, we don't agree with Ela Klein very much here. The Raider of Ramallah, folks, the Ramallah Raider, in the flesh.
5 years? That's intense.
But yeah, it should be scattered. You can't just do it. Hey, tomorrow, guys, your whole lives are changing.
All he's doing is just like throwing all the small and medium business owners to the trash. Like,
But I personally think it's going to be too catastrophic for China and America that I think before very long, within a month.
By the way, guys, I forgot to point this out last time. Notice the sniffing. Ethan is sniffing a lot less. And I contend that when Ethan is talking about Hassan, he's talking about the whole Palestine-Israel thing, he's extra stressed and he's like sniffing non-stop and coughing. Listen to him now. Pay attention to the sniffing. Notice how much less sniffing there is when he's talking about something a little bit more chill.
That they'll come to some kind of
and then
agreement.
with the iPhones, so he gave them like an exemption, and then I heard now he's taking away the exemption. I don't know what's happening.
What a psycho, bro.
I don't know
Maybe
what's
you should just
happening
make a
because it's
decision,
illegal.
man.
It's probably illegal to give them an exemption. Because, like, what about everybody else? You can't just because you met with Apple
You mean
CEO,
one
you give them an
specific company?
exemption.
I thought he was the whole industry of like cell phones.
I don't know too much about it because I'm.
See that? He's less jittery, less sniffing. And everyone says that like he snorts stuff. So I'm not sure. Like I know people are kidding him most of the time, but like look at the lack of sniffing. And people in the chat are saying, yeah, it's a huge tell, and like they're agreeing with me. He's way chiller when he's not talking about that. You've noticed the sniffing too, haven't you? Or no?
I just noticed that his tics get worse when he's talking about something that he's uncomfortable with, or that's something that he's not, like he's making a very big claim about someone or he's attacking someone, not necessarily like when he's comfortable or not. And just like when he's talking about weird stuff.
Something stressful, yeah.
Like, he starts doing the whole thing.
Yeah, with his he's a bit more active. Like he can't really control his hands and stuff. But like I feel like with the sniffing for some reason.
No, I think it's all related. It's all a nervous tick.
It is.
And the sniffing starts because he's like looking at the camera. He's doing it. I don't think it has anything to do with coke. Like I don't think.
Oh yeah, I think people are kidding when they're saying he's snorting cocaine or like Adderall.
Into apparel, but
Pretty sure he can do anything with the tariffs.
He can because he doesn't care about anything. But there are, I'm sure, legalities and illegalities that he just doesn't care about.
I think they'll come to the table. I think within a month there'll be some kind of deal. But if I'm wrong, then everybody's fucked.
Not a single sniff.
Yeah.
And Teddy Fresh probably. I mean, it's not even a matter of like if you can.
That is pretty crazy. Let me just check, see if the chat is agreeing with us. Lars sends another $5. He says, I love how they believe China is genociding Uyghur Muslims and harvesting their organs, but doesn't mind cheap labor from them at all. Well, I was going to say, wouldn't it be funny if Teddy Fresh starts making all their clothes in Israel? Why don't you start producing the clothes in Israel? It'll be closer to us. We could order it directly. I'm kidding. We wouldn't even be allowed to ship anything from Israel into Lebanon. But like, Ela, support. Don't you want to support Israelis? Open up a Teddy Fresh factory in Israel. You know, have the IDF soldiers make the clothing in their spare time. That would be a business that I'm sure you guys would be happy to support, wouldn't it?
It's
You cannot operate in like.
You can't.
Dreadful Utopia has corrected me. It says it's pronounced Uyghur. I'm sorry, I called them Uyghurs, like Jank Uyghur folks, Uyghurs.
You can't operate without knowing anything. That's like the opposite of business. Like you can the inability to predict next week.
Mm-hmm.
You can't operate a business like that.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Well, Donald Trump did the art of the deal. So if anyone knows how businesses are run,
Yeah.
it's him.
He wrote the art of the deal. He did.
By the way, some of the coping.
Someone is saying his tics have nothing to do with drug usage. Let me just take a second to find that tweet, that video where they're talking about Hassan not making his clothes in the States and like asking how he's making money, etc. Just because they should learn a thing or two about how Hassan makes his clothes. I mean, this isn't like a spoiler or anything, but like I've talked about potentially maybe one day. I mean, I've talked about doing merch, you know what I mean? And like if we were ever to do merch on the channel, you bet your asses this stuff would be made here in Lebanon. I'm not going to send you guys merch made from anywhere else. It's to to encourage Lebanese production, also to give us a kind of a competitive advantage, to stand out in the market. Everything's made in China. Everything's made in like Taiwan. Wouldn't it be nice to have something made locally for a change?
I think people care where something is made. I think
Sometimes they do.
No, I think like I have a lot of people in the fashion industry. I think they care
Lauren Lacey, that's so nice of you.
about
Appreciate that so much.
how it's made and what it's made from, like what's on it, what's the material. But I don't see anyone that's like, oh yeah, my product's superior because it's made in XYZ. Like I don't.
Well, I mean, in the high fashion world, they always think that like if it's made in Italy, like Hermes, like there's this. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Like there's all these videos going viral on TikTok right now of Chinese
That's
manufacturers,
like designer brands.
Even look, as a Lebanese person, I get an extra kick if I know that something is made in Lebanon. For example, I can't explain it. It's just like knowing that my money is going to support local people, to pay local salaries. To me, it makes a small difference. But usually I don't really care. You know, when I'm buying clothes, I don't really look where it's made. Kind of like Demi mentioned, it's more important to see like, is it cotton? Is it this? Is it that? That's what really matters. The quality rather than where it was made. So here's Ethan. Now this is like sped up like 2x, so I'm sorry. It's going to sound very fast. They're talking about about Hassan's brand and how his stuff is made in the USA.
Lauren Lacey, that's so nice of you. Appreciate that so much. 50 gift.
So yeah, before the 125, it was between 25 to 40%, and it kind of ranges depending on the product or on the content of the product. But now it's up to 125.
It's kind of insane.
Which
Like I don't know how.
It's just insane. It makes our whole business like non-functional.
Yeah.
So we are trying to figure out what we're gonna do, and then there was this whole thing of like, is it gonna last? So like nobody knows how to plan.
Yeah.
You can't change your whole business and then in a week it's gonna change back.
Yeah.
But
Pretty incredible.
majority of what we do, our
So,
products
I
are everywhere else. And,
Oh no, sorry. That's not the clip actually. So I thought that was a
No,
clip.
that's them talking about the tariffs.
It's them talking about the tariffs again. There was like a couple of weeks ago, they just went on this whole thing making fun of Hassan and like they're making fun of his clothes, the designs of the clothes, and then specifically like how does he even make money? And then they started doubting the fact that it's actually made in the U.S. So like for the prices that he charges, it's hard to believe that he actually makes the stuff here. No way. They started saying that he makes it in China or something.
People have different market.
Yeah, Hassan doesn't care as much
Profit
about making money.
margins,
Yeah,
yeah.
his profit margins are lower. He
And
just wants to sell the products.
Some people do, like some business models do count on volume more than what's the other one?
Volume or,
more
like,
than-
price.
Like price, yeah, like more than like a total
Premium.
general price. Like if you sell 1,000 pieces a day, it doesn't matter if it's like you want $10 on them. That's like just the same as.
How's the sweater looking, by the way?
Oh yeah, it's done.
Show us.
So this is the removed.
Whoa.
Should we burn this, guys?
Dub-
Should we burn this?
W's in the chat for Demi, folks. W's in the chat. She's been working on this for like fucking an hour and a half.
It's been an hour, I guess.
No name sends $5 and says, Anthony, a lot of controversial shit happening in Lebanon. Can you talk about them? No name. I don't know what you're talking about, my man. Clarify, please. Wow, look at that. That is so I mean, this is too much flowers now. Like I think what was nice about the logo is that like it kind of broke the monotony of the pattern. No,
I think you should sell this.
I think I should sell this, right? And we need to fix it though. We need to sew it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna sew it right now.
I think this one has a small Teddy Fresh patch
yeah,
at the
I did
bottom.
Notice
Yeah, it
as
has
I
an-
was working on it, I was like, I thought I saw a
It
bear
has an extra little
somewhere.
bear, yeah. Bottom right or bottom left, or on the sleeves.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, it's
Hello,
got a little
remove
Teddy.
it.
But I mean, it's kind of camouflaged. But like, thank you so much.
I can remove
You've
it.
saved. This is a big piece. This was like over 130 or
Oh my
$140,
God,
bro.
Sell that.
Something insane. Can I sell it now that I've removed it?
You're
like-
just selling it as like a regular piece. You don't have to market it as an old Teddy Fresh piece. Some people care about stuff just because of what it looks like, not because of the branding.
I know, but like
Some benefit
I
from
could have
that.
sold it for. If I'm gonna sell it, I could have sold it for more money. Like I took it off so I can keep it. Like
Okay,
kinda
are you
like-
gonna become a money-hungry mongrel like they are, or you just want to get rid of the piece?
No, I wanted to. No, if I'm taking off the logo, it's because I'm keeping the clothes. I want to be able to wear them guilt-free. So removing it to sell it makes no sense. I would have just sold it as. I could probably would have made more money selling it as is. You know.
Of conservatives who are still supporting him are unreal. There's this one investment banker. What's his name? He's famous for like shorting. Anyway, he's like a mega billionaire investor. And when Trump lifted all the tariffs except for China, he goes,
Breezy
"Really?
Rosa says W Demi, the resistor to the raider of Ramallah.
Thank
Hell
you.
yeah. Demi versus Ela.
Love
Demi
you
versus Ela.
guys. Love
Demi
you
versus
guys.
Ela. Who wins, folks, in a fight? Again, I ask you guys again. Demi versus Ela in a fist fight, 3 rounds. Who comes out on top? Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah, Demi comes out on
We
top.
ain't working out for nothing.
Ela ain't standing no fucking shot against my girl. Hey, Ethan, don't you even think about it, boy.
Brilliantly played, sir. Exactly art of the deal. Excellently played, sir." And I was like,
Magnificent.
"The fuck?"
Even Kevin O'Leary was praising it on.
I mean, even Kevin O'Leary's a moron.
Well,
He's still wonderful.
But the guy does business.
Mean guitar player though.
Yeah, he does business, right?
yeah, no, he does. But he was saying that.
Ice Mouth Tilkisa says it's not a business for Hassan. He doesn't make any money from it. He just does it because the fans want merch. So yeah, there you go.
Aw.
He doesn't care about making a lot of profit. So God bless Hassan.
It needs to be even more. with
Even
China.
more?
Yeah.
True.
At this point, it doesn't matter. They could just make it $1 trillion.
$1 trillion.
It's basically
It's high enough
become-
that it's untenable to do business there.
150% tariff.
Yeah, 152.5.
Chat is saying Shoki says Demi is righteous. Dizzle asks, does Demi get to use the tattoo gun? Well, of course she does. She's a tattoo artist.
What do you mean? Do I get to use a tattoo gun
I guess when you tattoo
every single day?
every day. Rami says Demi one hit a quitter. Demi, but Eli is also a trained soldier. Someone says you would even beat Ethan Klein.
I love that. I love that. Is she a trained soldier? I keep getting confused. I thought she was just a secretary.
She was a knight, but I guess she got basic training, like all of them or something.
So that's the thing.
Sorry.
It's like if it continues like that, then it'd probably be like this business is not worth running.
What's
right?
up? You got it off?
Second one's off.
Second one's off, folks. We got the second. Sorry, let me switch. Second little Teddy Fresh. We have two of them. Can you show both of them to the camera now? We got two little patches off, folks. Look at that. Two pieces of clothing have been rescued. Bye bye, little patches. Bye bye, little patches. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
But if they get rid of it in a month, which is totally possible too, then it would work. So
Tone
again,
415
it's like, what-
says Ela is getting completely sweeped. I agree, Tone. Demi will break her legs. We're kidding, Ela. We don't want any harm towards you. We're just kidding. Okay. Safety and love to the family.
the fuck do
A
you want
month?
people to do?
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Really? A month?
It's just total silliness.
It's called sports.
China's such dickheads too. Look, I know Trump's a dickhead, but China's got to be like, no, we're a bigger dickhead. We put 10 billion tariff on you then.
Kissing my ass.
And two dickheads, bro.
That's why I'm not feeling hopeful about this at all, like going away, because they're too.
Yeah, they're both pretty.
They're gonna butt
unshakable.
heads.
Well,
if
listen,
they-
from their perspective, it's like they're just basically calling the bluff.
Right.
And they're right to do that. Like, just from a rational standpoint, it's like
No, but
they
well,
hold the
need
cards
it-
here.
But they need this business too.
It's hurting them way.
Yeah,
more, in
for
my
sure.
opinion.
But like,
They make product for America. They could not sell the product there.
you
which
gotta-
which society, the United States or China, is more resilient to enduring the shock? You think, though?
America, no question about it.
Really?
That's fucking crazy to me. America is more resilient to resisting the shock, bro. China has been around for thousands of fucking years. The United States went fucking crazy with COVID, bro. People were killing each other over fucking toilet paper in supermarkets during COVID. You think the Chinese are like that fucking crazy? Like, look, the States is a powerful country, one of the top countries in the world, bro. They would crumble, bro. They would crumble. If you raise the prices on their Starbucks coffee, they're going to fucking protest. Are you telling me they're going to be okay with like inflation and 152% tariffs on China, and the Chinese are going to suffer more, bro? The Chinese are fucking...
They don't need you.
Do the Chinese believe in like collectivism and working together as a society for the betterment of the society? Americans are all about individualism. So it's all about what I can get, what I can do to help myself. No one cares about their neighbor in the US. The Chinese, whether you love it or hate it, whether you love China or hate it, they all work together as a fucking society, and they move forward as a society or they go backwards as a society, but at least they're doing it together. And I think Dan is fucking shocked here. He's like, what? You think like the US is fucking better than China? Like, what the fuck? By the way, the hair looks good on Dan. I'm going to say it. Dan, I know we've had our differences, my man, but hair looks good on you. He's bald. He has to wear a wig for a week as like a challenge. So suits him, doesn't it?
Looks like a woman.
I mean, a woman with a beard.
Woman.
No question. America,
With
in every way.
People are gonna freak out when the prices all like
No,
spike. and
China,
everything.
dude, China is like fucking, their whole industry is fucked. Like manufacturing is what China does.
Right, no, I
And
got
like
that.
pretty much every manufacturer there serves at,
I don't disagree that China is also going to be affected because, yes, China's main export is exports, manufacturing. They just build everything. And the biggest consumer of Chinese goods, the biggest consumer of goods in general, are the United States. Europeans don't buy nearly as much Chinese shit as the Americans. They don't buy nearly as much shit as Americans. No one consumes like Americans do. So this will definitely have an impact on China, on Chinese manufacturing. But let's just wait and see how long this lasts. But again, the Chinese will bounce back, folks. They've done it before. They've been around for thousands of years. They are the #1 global superpower in the world right now, bro. Don't believe what Americans tell you. It's China. China.
large portion Americans. and they cannot survive. Like the entire fucking industry is just cratered there.
Jordan M sends a $10 super chat and says, the West largely supports capitalism, so I have zero sympathy for businesses who are losing business based on a supply chain that largely relies on exploiting the rest of the world. So Jordan agrees with you. Well, absolutely. I mean, definitely. They are. I just think they should have had more time to change, even if you disagree with it.
Definitely, I agree with that. But show 5-year plan. Like no
Not
government is
fi-
gonna
a
offer
year,
that.
a year.
Like,
But like,
it's crazy.
I agree. You should encourage local production. That's always the case. Like again, if I were to make merch, I would want to make it here in Lebanon. If I were in the States and I were trying to make some merch, I would ideally like to work with a union, a firm, a company, a factory that makes T-shirts. But if I had chosen to start my business and get my merchandise from abroad, I would like a little bit of a heads up. Be like, hey, we're going to be changing some policies. We're going to be changing some rules. If you want your business to remain alive and stay active, you want to keep your people employed, you need to do 1, 2, and 3. You have X, Y months to do so. Transition. Here's a transition period. Here's some incentives. Here's some tax credits. Here's whatever. The government should make it attractive for you to do it. Not like, hey, you're on your own. Everything's more expensive. You're fucked. And if you can't adapt within a couple of months.
Honestly, why should a government offer you incentives? That doesn't make sense. to me.
Incentives to bring manufacturing back
Yeah, I get.
in the country and then to lead to create more jobs, more taxes for the
but
government.
The government shouldn't. You should, as a civic duty, that should be something that you want to do. That's not something that a government should bribe you to do to
Not
give
bribe
you
you,
an
but-
incentive.
but is the-
That's what an incentive is at
Sure,
that point.
but if the government is sort of tearing the carpet underneath you and
No, I
changing
don't believe.
and changing your business and making your business model unsustainable overnight, they should offer you some kind of incentive or some kind of a transition, something to make the transition smoother. If the
Transition,
incentive,
okay,
no,
Bess,
like,
I don't agree with
the incentive could be like for example, a 10% tax credit. If you bring your manufacturing to the States for the first year, we'll give you a 10% rebate on whatever you spend on manufacturing, just as a little extra boost to make the transition a little bit less painful, to encourage you. I think incentives. I think
those people that have been producing outside have made a lot more money than people that have been producing in more ethical places.
I know,
So I don't think that they need incentives.
But
personally.
I know I would try to help at first because you don't want people to lose jobs. You don't want people to. I would rather the business struggle a little bit, but be able to stay open and still be able to keep people hired, rather than no incentives, no transition periods, nothing. They close down, people lose their jobs. Then I think you're in bigger trouble than you were before. I just think it should be a little bit more of a slow rollout, not like an overnight thing. Lars sends $5 and said they're stupid. China doesn't need us. It's the world's manufacturer. U.S. makes nothing. China can lose 15% of their export market. They don't care. I think China will be fine. I agree. But I do think that the biggest consumer of Chinese goods is the United States. This is where China is going to suffer a little bit. But I mean, they still got Europe to sell to. They got the rest of the world to sell to. They will be okay. They've been okay for thousands of years. They will continue to be okay.
Some things are cheap also. Don't forget, some things are if the cost is $1, 150% of $1, it's just gonna be $3.
Yeah, no,
$4.
that's still cheap.
Not every clothing maybe and more higher
course,
end
of course.
luxury stuff are gonna suffer. But
I'm looking at things that I'm buying for right now. Like I bought an extra little battery to charge my camera while it's plugged into the wall. I'm paying $20 for that now. If I'm gonna have to pay $60 for that, or 40 or 50, that's just where shit changes. I've been able to buy spares of those because they're just $20 a
buy
pop.
it from AliExpress
You know what I mean?
directly. Then don't get it from Amazon.
Yeah, I
That's
would have to buy it
completely different.
directly from China. And this is what the Chinese are doing now. They're putting out all these TikToks, all this
Bravo
social media,
عليهم,
hey, buy from
honestly.
us directly. Instead of paying this
That's
much,
so
you
fucking
can pay that
smart.
much. But for people who are living in the States and stuff, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Again, this affects Americans. This doesn't affect me living in Lebanon. This just affects people living in the States.
I wish that we could watch what I was watching. It was a Chinese piece that was translated, and that it looked catastrophic to me. A lot of the other countries though were like, okay, bro, sure, whatever, dude. And then he just dropped it. He's like, 10%, just drop it, because Trump's a fucking idiot. He's like all hot air. I don't blame them for doing it, but it just seems like.
I just think Trump's going to blink first, is my suspicion.
It's called baseball in particular.
I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. He took off the tariffs on everyone else. He got that bump in the stock market, so everyone's feeling a little better. I don't think he's.
I feel like the only people that can pressure him is
his billionaire buddies.
high-profile CEOs like
Yeah.
Tim Apple.
Yeah,
but-
Tim Apple is
Yeah,
not.
you need Tim Cook, be like, hey, I don't want to sell my iPhones for $5,000 a pop. What can we do about these tariffs? I think it's eventually going to get solved, but it is this kind of macho, big dick swinging competition right now. Trump isn't going to back down. The Chinese don't want to back down. It's the two world superpowers kind of putting their dicks on the table and seeing who's got the bigger wee-wee. Sorry for the nasty terms, folks.
Happy. All those, by the way, all the tech bros that were at his inauguration, like, that's right, we're MAGA all the way. Those guys are all getting fucked. Big
But
time
I don't
fucked.
know.
So, interesting times.
So basically, 150% tariff prices are gonna 2.5x. Like, so 150%. Me out says 150% on $1 makes it 2.5.
2.5, yeah.
So if a $5 product is gonna become 15, no, 2.5 times 1.5, then, right?
So any number times 2.5.
Is that what you're doing? I think so.
So $5 would be 15. I don't have no.
I don't know.
Oh, guess who has huge manufacturing
confused.
facilities in China?
Travis Yates has just become a member. Thank you, Travis Yates. Welcome to the Do Not Warriors.
Yeah, to a $5 product will become 12.5.
W's in the chat for Travis Yates. We're almost done with this, and we're almost done with the live stream, folks.
China, Elon Musk, doesn't he? They make a
I
ton
think
of...
there is a Tesla plant in China. I think so, yeah. I hear that Tesla's doing terribly over there, though. Those Chinese electric car
Can't beat
makers are
that.
like blowing them out of the water now.
Yeah, you can't beat them.
Yeah.
Tesla.
I thought they were making it for other markets, not for China. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think Trump understands, and I believe he's correct in this, that it's going to hurt China worse. So I think he's banking on the fact that they'll come to the table. But even if they come to the table, it's like, what do we hope
It's not going to hurt China worse. Are you fucking crazy?
to get here, where everyone just drops
Look
them?
at your wife's business. She's already asking if her business is going to stay alive a month from now, and you're like, China's going to hurt more. You're already questioning whether or not a business you started in 2017, an 8-year-old business, can survive one more month without China, and you're telling me China
Yeah.
can't survive?
Like your business is
Literally, Teddy Fresh is going to crumble in a month because of tariffs. So chill out, Ethan. China's going to be fine. You're fine. My mic is back. Yeah, the mics are back. My camera might be back. Your camera might not be back.
All right, I just can't let go of the.
Don't do
needle.
it. It should come soon. We's almost done, baby. Folks, so I can't see you. I'm going to keep playing this, actually. You guys can probably still hear, right?
And both sides will
Like, it's
hurt
not
a lot.
that different
I
from
don't
where we
know.
started. It's like not that different.
Just cause a lot of headaches and
Just-
companies to go
yeah.
out of business in the meantime.
Yeah.
And then just wind up back at square one.
What's happening? Baby, can I have your flashlight?
Yeah.
Oh, no need.
I was just about to close it.
Just a gentle reminder to you folks that we are streaming from a Middle Eastern country. We're in Lebanon. We get power outages on a regular basis.
No, it's not a power outage.
It's switching. It doesn't matter, babe. It's a power outage.
No, power outage means we're spending hours without power, which is what we did go through 2 years ago. Now it's just generators changing. Like, explain.
It's a momentary
Don't
power
make
outage.
it seem like we're
Babe, they watch
beavers
us
that
live. They
want-
know that it's a 2-second power outage. So basically, it switches from like government electricity to personal generators. That's what happens. But here, it cuts a little bit more so. But yeah, like power outages, just for the sake of brevity, babe.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
China does have a lot of terrible business practices, like how they steal IP from American companies to do business there. And
Oh, stealing IP. Stealing IP. What do you mean stealing IP, bro? What the fuck? Again, IP should not fucking exist the way it does. Like, stop fucking gatekeeping technology. And I mean, you think Apple doesn't know when they're making their phones in China? You think they don't know that the Chinese are learning exactly how to make their phones? It's their choice. It's a cause. They're willing to do it there. You know what I mean? They've been building their phones in China for years. Chinese people have been ripping off their IP for years. Apple has never stopped producing their phones in China. They don't give a fuck about their IP, bro. Okay.
but like obviously there's different ways to approach that that doesn't include
Yeah, I think,
whatever
you know,
this is.
I feel like there are rational people out there that make the argument that like we've become way too reliant on Chinese manufacturing. We
Sure.
should decouple ourselves from that.
I feel
But
like
you said, Hila, it's like this is a fucking insane way to do it.
This is not the way to do it.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
nobody is going to argue that point,
Yeah.
by the way. Like, everybody can agree that, yeah, this dependability is problematic in the long run, probably. I
It's
don't
like
know.
it's like if you get a cut.
But
It's like you get a cut on your arm and it gets infected, and you're like, we have two options. We can take antibiotics, or we can just cut the arm off.
yeah.
Right.
And Trump said, well, we could
Take
treat
that
this,
sucker
but
off.
Let's just cut it off, you know?
Yeah, so Meout says that a $100 item will now become $250. So I mean, that is a pretty big price increase for more expensive items. For cheaper items, if it's a $1 item, sure, you're not going to feel like anything sub $10 is still going to be relatively affordable, relatively cheap. It's when you get into those bigger purchases that you're going to be dropping the big bucks. Haley D, she says, Demi, please start a cult. She's asking for you to start a cult. Let me cut to
Haley,
you.
I see your likes on Instagram stories. You my girl.
Well, there you go. Haley's W's in the chat for Haley D, folks. Haley is the greatest. She's the reason most of your members here. So,
True, honestly.
don't you forget your mama. Don't you forget your membership, mama. We got Haley. We got Dizzle McFizzle. We got members go up, who apparently was a donor for the H3 show. He reached out to us on Discord. Thank you,
Oh,
members go up.
yeah.
He sent us like 100. He gifted 100 memberships.
cool one.
What a legend! And again, the fact that Ethan's Basement members go up, Comrade Casey, all of these VIPs are watching these lives, folks. How fucking lucky are we? How fucking lucky am I to have found such a beautiful audience? And by the way, thank you guys so much for donating to Harley's. I didn't want to keep talking about it because I feel like I don't want to steal any attention away from Harley's hard work, but like Harley's fundraiser is at like over £3,000. Thanks to you, motherfuckers. Thanks to you, generous bastards out there donating money left and right to that fundraiser. The link is still in the description of this video. It's right under the Patreon link if you guys want to go in, donate a little bit of extra money to support Mohsen and his family. Harley, our lovely viewer, she really has made all of this possible, and you guys have been amazingly generous. Seriously, amazingly generous. Thank you so much for everything that you guys have done for Mohsen and his family. Almost done with this video. We'll call it a night, and then tomorrow we will have the final live stream of the week before I travel, and then I'm going to be announcing a lot of fun stuff tomorrow, and then I'm going to be announcing some of my plans for the States, what I hope to do, etc. Let's go ahead and finish this video real quick.
I like to be direct.
So that's it. I don't know what's going to happen with Teddy Fresh.
Healthy, they had great arms.
And I'll tell you, I don't know what's going to happen with like a ton of other companies too. Sorry, one sec.
So Teddy Fresh might be closing down. So if Teddy Fresh closes down, folks, I think I'm going to keep... I was thinking, like, should I sell this? I think I should keep this forever. Like, this is the signature Teddy Fresh hoodie. When all is said and done, I think this would be a nice souvenir to have, especially if Teddy Fresh does go out of business. Having some of these OG pieces, man, I could fucking resell this to like some crazy Fupa Troopa.
It's so fucking ugly, honestly.
I can't wear this anymore. Like I used to wear this like,
so, like
6 years ago or something.
No way, it's so ugly.
Yeah, I couldn't wear this anymore.
Like,
I used to
let's
like this.
say it was a good piece, they just ruined it with that red embroidery. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, the red maybe. Like I used to really like this, but I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't like
I'm
this.
glad I
think-
hadn't met you at that phase.
I think this
of
was a
life.
dope piece. Well, this one I like this one. Like, it's
Yeah,
got nice comic panels. It's pretty cool, and the corduroy one is really nice. Plus, there's this one. I'll always defend this piece as well. I think this is a very nice piece. Very simple. I think this is a pretty dope piece. Again, like my style has gotten more classic over the last couple of years, so I stopped buying a lot of the pastel color Teddy Fresh stuff and more of the like the corduroy, this sort of this color. Oops.